Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we all struggle with. Taking a document that's, well, a bit of a mess, and turning it into something that looks professional and is actually easy to use. So let's dive right in. You know the feeling, right? You're fighting with the formatting, you're endlessly scrolling up and down just trying to find one little section. You just wish the thing would cooperate. So let me ask you, is your document your friend or is it your enemy? Today, we're going to make sure it's always on your team. All right, let's kick things off with a super common problem. You've done all the work, you've written pages and pages of great stuff, but now, how do you stop it from turning into this giant, intimidating wall of text? So picture this. You've just wrapped up a big 10-page science project. You've got all your data, all your analysis. It's awesome. But it's also really long, and just trying to find your way around it is starting to become a challenge in itself. Because, it's not just one long block of text. You've got your introduction, your methods, your results, your conclusion, all these different pieces. And as that document gets bigger, trying to jump from, say, your conclusion way at the end back to your methods near the beginning, it turns into this frantic scroll fest. It's just, it's so frustrating and a total waste of time. But what if your document could have its own little built-in GPS? A map that could take you or your teacher or whoever's reading it to the exact spot they need to be instantly. Well, guess what? It can. It's the table of contents. And look, this is not something you have to sit there and type out by hand, no way. In Microsoft Word, this is an automated tool. It literally scans through your whole project, finds all your headings, and just, poof, builds this perfect, clickable list for you right at the front. It's like the command center for your entire project. And here's where the magic really happens. Without one, your document is just tough to get through. With one, it's a crystal clear map. But check this out. This is the best part. Let's say you add a whole new section, and your conclusion gets pushed from page 9 to page 10. You don't have to do anything. The table of contents just updates the page numbers for you automatically. Seriously, it is an absolute game changer for big projects. Okay, so navigation? Solved. Now let's talk about the look of the thing. How do you make your page actually look good and avoid that dreaded wall of text? I just love this saying because it is so true. When you see a huge, dense block of text, it just feels like work, doesn't it? It can actually stop people from reading all your amazing ideas before they even get to the first sentence. Good design isn't just about looking nice, it's about welcoming your reader in. So let's switch gears. Let's say you're not writing a long report anymore. This time, you're making something like a school poster or maybe a newsletter for a class. You need it to look clean, professional, and you've got to fit a decent amount of info on there without it looking all cramped. Basically, you want it to look like a real newspaper or magazine. So how do you get that slick, professional, magazine-style layout? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, but it is so powerful. It all comes down to one feature: columns. And yeah, columns do exactly what you think they do. They just chop up your page into these vertical lanes. So instead of your sentences stretching all the way across the page, the text flows down one nice, narrow column, and then it hops right up to the top of the next one. And here's why that is such a big deal. It turns out that reading really long lines of text is physically tiring for our eyes. Our brains can actually process shorter lines much faster. So by using columns, you're literally making your document easier and quicker to read. It takes that dense wall of text and turns it into something neat, organized, and professional. And that professional look? It tells your reader your work is credible before they've even read a single word. So think about it. Just by knowing about these two simple tools, you've suddenly got this massive amount of control over your documents. You've gone from just hoping the software does what you want to being the actual architect of your page. That right there is your new superpower. So let's just boil it down one last time. Got a long, complicated document like that science project? Your table of contents is your absolute best friend for keeping things organized. And when you want something to look really sharp, like a poster or a newsletter, columns are your secret weapon for making it easy to read. It's all about picking the right tool for the job. We've really only just scratched the surface here with two powerful features. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple, hidden tools are just sitting there in your word processor, waiting to completely change the way you work and share your ideas? Now that sounds like something worth exploring.